What's going on, y'all? John's Logic back with another one. It's been a while, but things are changing, and I feel like I had to record this. I don't see a ton of stuff out there about it, and I did it for a while. I tried to make it work for a while, and just kept having issues and things like that, and I can't do it, man. Can't do it. So we're switching to Keep Truckin. Alright, so we're putting in the Keep Truckin E-Log. We're getting rid of OmniTracks. There's a lot of questions that I have about this. Like, I looked online, and there's like two or three videos where it says, oh, if you just go in through the top panel, which is the top fuse box here, the cords you're going to need are in there, and they're not. So when I ordered the cord, when I called Keep Truckin to order the connector cable for it, I asked them for the OBD2 reader. That is not the part number they gave me. They gave me the cord that's like 3 different plugs, and I'll put a picture up on the screen or whatever. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to install it. The hope I have, right? The hope I have is that the cord they sent me, it's over there, like over there on the floor right here. But my hope is my current OmniTracks, the cord that runs back behind my dash here, I'm hoping the other side of that cable is the same connectors it's going to need for Keep Truckin. So that, and if it's not, I'm screwed. I'm going to have to call either LCAP. I would have to call either LCAP or Keep Truckin to get the correct part number, have them basically overnight it for me to have the correct reader. But I'm optimistic. Let's hope for the best. I'm gonna time lapse it. I'm not sure how long it's gonna take, but I'll time lapse it. I'll either put music over it, I'll talk over it, try and talk my way through it. But basically I'm just gonna set my camera up on the floor here and do a time lapse. So let's get to it. Having a little bit of problems, right? So this is the cord in question. Well, I guess I can take this out of the plastic. Good Lord. So for y'all, it's probably been like a minute. For me, it's been like 20 to 30. So this cord I got from Keep Truckin. It's got 3 plugins, right? But here's the thing. I found the plugins for these 2, but I can't find a ground connector here, right? So these 2 plugs go here. J1939. Yeah. So these 2 plugs go here. So these 2 plugs replace the 2 plugs that are plugged in, right? But in order for me to get power or ground it out, I have to find this, which, you know, one, I can't take this off without taking this off, and I don't want to do all that. I probably should, probably make my day a whole lot easier. But even with this being out the way, I'm about to take this off my old Qualcomm so I can open up this panel back here. But I think this just pops off, and try and dig around there, because looking in the fuse box, there's supposed to be a ground connector here somewhere. But this one is already plugged in somewhere, and I'm trying to find an open-ended connection. See, that's F10. I'm trying to find the F87 ground, which is supposed to be right there in that same spot. It might be. I haven't looked down to dig deeper in there, but at least for now, we're making some progress. So my hypothesis was correct, that my original Omnitrax is in fact plugged into the wires I'm supposed to. So those two wires that I found are supposed to be up here. So I guess when Prime got the truck and wired it, they took the wires from up here, ran it down, you know, back behind here, through here, and then like did something with this cable here. Because if you see it here, these wires are taped to the big power wire here, and then this wire leads to the Qualcomm. So once I find that negative ground connector, I'm home free. But two, well, I've discovered a way I can hide this Omnitrax cable. I'm just gonna take the Omnitrax cable out the back of the Omnitrax box, which I need to go ahead and take down now. I'm gonna take this mount off, get back behind this panel, see if I can find that ground wire. If I can't, tough luck. If I can, fantastic. We're gonna make some progress here. So for now, you know, we'll continue the madness, I suppose. We'll see. Alright, so what I did not find was the ground connector. I did get, you know, the Omnitrax off, you know, and it's fine. Oh, it's in my lap actually, because I'm about to unscrew it. So I got the Omnitrax off. I found the two cables. I did find a ground connector. It's just currently plugged into something else. It's plugged into something else, so we're gonna test and see exactly what that's plugged into. That one goes here. I'm also trying to make sure I don't lose any parts of this tool set. This goes back here, and I'm missing and I'm missing a piece. Dang it. I literally just said I wasn't gonna lose anything. You know what? I have faith it'll turn up. And it did. Exactly right where I left it. Alright, so this goes back right here. So now what I'm gonna do basically is I'm gonna unplug those two cables. Attempt to go ahead and plug in the keeptruckin system. Right now I'm kind of just getting ahead of the game right now, and I want to unplug. Like, there's no way for me to hide the old IVG behind my dash. So my goal is to unplug just the wire, disconnect the box from the wire. The wire I can push back there all day long, and then just put this somewhere else. So that's what I'm trying to get into right now. But I don't know why I put that over there, like I'm not working on it right now. But what I'm doing right now is trying to find a bit that is small enough to allow me to do that. Just pop it off. Like this cable is in here like this. It says, you know, press the latch to remove the cable. You literally just press the top of it, it pops right out. But make sure you do not snap this. Don't snap it. Obviously still in warranty. So now I can hide this cable and replace this, you know, put this little protective cover back on. Hopefully. Nothing's ever that simple. There we go. Alright. Let's get that back in. So I was right, it's a T10 to remove the cover, but now my IVG is off and unplugged. So now, got that covered, and to continue hunting for this ground wire, because that's what I need. Fantastic, you know, little keep trucking box. Problem is, I've got no power. Why? Because I need to find a receiver for this. Like I said, we're about to do some trial and error, so you know, I wish I had a better place to put the camera, but I don't. If my head didn't hurt, I would put my head mount on, but unfortunately I have a headache, so I thought this was weird. It came with two resistors. Oh, you know what? I bet you I can trial and error that to see if I get power to it. Let's see if I unplug this one. Oops. I'm gonna unplug this one, because one of these was unplugged. So I'm gonna unplug this one and plug it in here. See if I get power. I do not. Alright, obviously not. But it does make me wonder which one is connected to my truck's ECM. So, no data. I also don't know because my truck is off, but it should get power with my truck off anyway. But again, I know someone's gonna tell me in the comments like, oh duh, your power cable's not plugged in. Like, I know, but just trying to figure if I can find a ground wire, but I cannot. I'm about to start pushing all these cables back in. If I squeeze my hand in here, find me a negative cable. What I don't want is to snap a wire by accident and then my truck is down. You know what I mean? So, gotta find somewhere to plug this in at. See, okay. And this is the cable that goes back to something else. So I'm not sure where this cable goes, actually. I'll start pushing these cables back in. Like this one. I don't even know what this goes to, but it was already unplugged. Yeah, so we're gonna try and find power cable. Once I do, I'll get back to you. So, finished the install, and what I didn't realize when I stopped my camera yesterday, obviously it's a whole new day. I stopped my camera yesterday during the install, did a couple things. I think I had to move something, and then I stopped to get lunch, and then when I got back, didn't realize that I left my camera on and the battery was low. So by the time I came back to finish the install, my camera was dead. So obviously I finished the install. It was pretty simple, and I wanted to come back and record and, you know, show you guys the finished install. But I did have to do something different with that wiring harness, and I'm gonna have to go in the video and grab a screenshot of that of the wire, because obviously I didn't get any footage of it, of me cutting it. But that what I thought was just the ground plug is actually the power plug, because you know, it's had 2 wires in it instead of 1. So what I ended up having to do was, you know, because I bought my truck from Prime, the spare power plugs that you're supposed to plug that into, they had already repurposed it for my immobilizer and panic button. So I didn't have a spare power plug to plug that in. So what I ended up having to do is actually cut that off, and I popped my fuse box so I could show you exactly what I did. But I cut that off and actually just ran, you can see the red power cable here. So I had this panel off and ran all the cables up through there. Used a camera selfie stick to go down in there, tie on the plug, and then pull it back up. Perks of being a YouTuber, I guess. But I actually ran the power cable for Keep Truckin here, and then grounded it out on, you know, a negative post using a fuse panel. I actually had another Landstar BCO out here to help me with that. Because I have a fuse checker that has got a little light bulb on it, and I couldn't find it. So I was about to go buy another one, and then, you know, he walked up, and you know, obviously I know the guy. He was like, yeah, I got one in my truck. And so he went and grabbed his and helped me with the last part. But I basically installed it all myself. Outside of the wiring nightmare that it was to take that Omnitrax wire out. But as you can see, you know, I got my iPad here now, you know, good to go. I was watching YouTube, because obviously I'm just sitting here. But I've got all my logs here now for Keep Truckin. The wire is nowhere to be seen, because I literally just plugged in this iPad at night, you know, when it needs to be charged, using, you know, the power cable. So no wires, it's literally just an iPad mount. I got this mount off of Amazon. I took the old mount off for the Omnitrax and, you know, installed this one. So there's no more wire that used to come down here and run up to the Omnitrax. The actual Keep Truckin box, like basically what communicates the truck moving to the iPad. Let me actually go back, because I was in this log. You know, for it to show, you know, that my truck is moving, for it to, you know, record. I was originally going to put it back behind that panel, and I was going to put it back there because, you know, for Volvos, that's one of the places that I can put it in. I can put it in the footwell, you know, either the driver's side or the passenger side. And then I realized, you know, sometimes I need to be able to see. So it's got 2, and I've got it down here so I can show you. It's got 2 little status lights on here, that, you know, something's going on with Keep Truckin. I need to be able to see it, and with it being back behind that panel, I would have to take that panel off every time to figure out what's going on with it. So what I ended up doing is running the cables, you know, as you can see the cable right there. I could probably just push that in. So it's an open gap. Yep, sure can. So it's an open gap, and then I'm really just running the cable right here. I left it here overnight on, you know, on my dash here. Let me probably move my phone out of the way. I left it down here overnight to see, to, you know, make sure it still was going to get a signal or anything. But I'm actually going to, you know, as you see this little 3M tape, I'm actually going to tape it right here, so it's out of the way, you know, and then if something's going on with it, obviously I can, you know, just open the door, step on the first step, and look and see if something's going on with the light. Or vice versa, something happens with the box and I have to replace it, I can literally just unplug it and put the new box on, and I don't have to rewire the whole truck, you know what I mean? So far, it's done exactly what I wanted it to do. So, you know, obviously I'm on a 34-hour reset. So I got Keep Truckin. I bought a little iPad mini. I've got another iPad somewhere back there, but it was too big. This is the iPad Pro, the 12.9 inch one. I didn't want that up here because I was literally only going to use it for my logs. So I actually repurposed that other iPad for something else. And I've got this little iPad mini. I just added it onto my phone plan. and you know, now I can, you know, haul my logs. Obviously I haven't done anything since I installed this, and it does not go back and pull my Omnitrax logs, which I've noticed. So I'm gonna have to pull my Omnitrax logs and fill out paper logs for the past days that I was actually driving, so I have a full week's worth of logs. But it's super simple, you know, change duty status, you know, real easy, huge graph, you know, then goes by days. I'll do a full breakdown, you know, at a later time. Obviously I haven't used it yet because I haven't needed to go anywhere yet. But once I have a couple days under my belt, I'll put out another video, like a little update video. But install overall, you know, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the easiest, 10 the hardest. If it wasn't for Prime repurposing those plugs, it probably would have been a solid like 2 or 3. And the only reason I say that is because, you know, you need to have the proper tools and, you know, make sure you don't break anything. But outside of that, like if it was a straight up install, because normally the plugs that I was supposed to plug in usually plugs in up top on my fuse in my fuse box. But when Prime installed the Omnitrax for our trucks, they took the wires from up there and put them down back there. So, you know, so I obviously had to take the dash apart, I had to take the trim pieces off. I actually ended up popping this little box. Well, probably can't see it, but there's a little box here. When you take this trim piece off, it has 2 screws, and it literally just pops out, and you can see, you know, the side of your fuse panel and the spare plugs and stuff. But outside of that, super easy, man. It's about 2, you know. Then with the wire cutting, you know, that kind of added to the 2 or 3, in case you know, someone else needs to do it too. But super easy install. It's up and functioning and running, as you know, as you see. It's connected to my truck. I don't want to show my truck number, but I was in sleeper berth up until about, I think I still have this on Eastern time actually, because saying that I changed it at 10:30, and I know it's been more than that. So I think my logs are still on the East Coast. They're still showing Eastern Standard Time, and I'm on the West Coast, because I got up about 7 o'clock this morning. So 7, yeah, so 10:30 would have been 7:30. So yeah, that's about right, was when I changed my status. Super easy install, a lot cleaner. And then obviously, you know, for whatever reason I need to, you know, do anything, but I don't want to sit here and mess with my logs, I literally just pop over, open the little mount, and take my iPad with me and mess with my logs back there. So that's another reason I wanted to get it changed out. But I'll do an update video on it, you know, when I get on the line. I want to get this video edited and out to you guys. But yeah, so we're officially on Keep Truckin' now. I'm actually going to get that box stuck up there right now, actually, while I'm not doing anything, and go ahead and get to editing. So like I always say, y'all, if you're thinking you might as well do it logically, I'll catch you guys on the next one, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.